Hey guys, welcome back. We're going to be taking some amazing food photos again. We're going to be using a cell phone. I happen to have the iPhone 11, can be done with any cell phone. Now I'm not using the in-camera app this time though. We're going to use a different camera app. We're going to do some top down. We're going to get creative and we're going to create some great photos. Let's get into it. Here's my little setup here. Now we're using our cell phone, so what's the first thing we need to do? We need to clean the lens. Now I've already taken care of mine, you need to take care of yours. Now for lighting, normally you'd be using natural light if you're using your cell phone, most likely. But as you know, if you've been following my channel, I am a studio shooter, so on the side here I have a studio light giving me a bit of side and a bit of backlight onto our set. Now one thing, we're going to be doing a top-down shot, which is fairly common in food photography. Now to achieve that, I'm using a tripod over here, and the center column has the ability to come up and over the table. Let's have a closer look at that and I'll show you what I mean. This is a Manfrotto tripod with a Manfrotto ball head attached. The cell phone is being held by a newer bracket. It's one I picked up off Amazon, works brilliantly, used it a lot. Now the one thing I like about this tripod, and there's a lot of different ones on the market like that, it gives me the ability to do this. Raise the center column, there's a little pin on the bottom, click, over. And I now have the over the table look I need to be able to take the top down image and keep everything nice and level. So that's a really handy feature in a lot of tripods, having the ability for that center column to come out and get over top of a surface for you without you having to get too creative. Absolutely love it. More about the lighting. Normally you would have natural light. I don't have natural light in my studio. It's kind of a pain, especially when I'm trying to do some work like this with the cell phone, so I have to use LEDs. Now this is an actual studio strobe, not an LED. It's basically a placeholder to show you where I had the light, how I had it at the side and slightly behind, so you got that effect of where the light was. But I need the LED to light me to do the video. So I was kind of caught by doing both. So I thought this would be the best way to do it. Just put the studio strobe in place so you could actually see where the light is. Doesn't matter what your light source is, as long as you're getting light in the subject where you need it and you can control it how you want. Now, if you're getting not enough light on one side and it's creating shadows, don't forget your pieces of foam core that you can bounce light back into your subject to lighten up those shadows. So it's something you can play with to try and get the best exposure you can on it. Now, if you need to darken shadows because you got too much light bouncing around, then go with a piece of black foam core because it works as a negative fill and will darken the subject off. Right? So if I put this here, you can see how light will fill the face and darken. So don't forget, black works brilliantly for bringing out some additional texture or deepening those shadows when you need it to. So that's the bit with the lighting, and yes, this is a studio strobe. I actually used an LED with about a 46-inch diffuser panel in front, which I've done in the past. Now, for the propping helps tell the story. I've done very minimal propping here. As you can see, I've got some forks and I've got a bit of the ingredients. I've got some cinnamon and I've got some brown sugar because this is a cinnamon swirl cake. So I put a little bit of the ingredients in just to help support the item and add a little more interest to the image. Now, as I say, it's a very basic setup. You don't want to overprop it or you're going to lose sight of what the actual subject is. So now let's have a look at the app that I'm using to do this with. The app that I'm using is not the in-camera app this time. It's Adobe Lightroom CC Mobile. I'll put a link to a video I did, and it gives you the basics on getting going using Lightroom Mobile on your phone. I'm using the iPhone 11 and I'm using the Lightroom Mobile app. It gives me a little more flexibility and freedom than the in-camera app. So I've already set my white balance on here and I've done the manual. I've got my ISO, my film speed, down to 100. You want to keep that as low as you can to help reduce any grain or noise or artifacting within the image. Then, as you can see, I'm a little underexposed, so I need to adjust my exposure. So I come in here and I just pull this along, and you can see I have the zebra stripes or marching ants turned on, and I want to catch it just there, just as the marching ants just disappear. That way I'm not clipping my highlights. I've got everything set pretty good. Now I just need to make sure that my focus is set exactly where I need. So I need to come in here, and you can see how you can play with the focus where the green is. So I want the top of that cake glowing green, just like that. That way I know everything in the top is in focus. Now, on a top down, most of this is pretty much the same height. It should all be in focus. The brown sugar is a little taller, so it might go out of focus, but as you can see by the indicating on the green, it'll be in focus as well. I have everything set now. I just simply take a photo. That's all there is to doing this style of top-down. Top-down photography in food is used very, very commonly. There's basically about the three angles: your head-on, your 45, and your top-down. So this is a very simplistic setup for a top-down. Now, while we're doing a top-down, we do have another option, and we can do a negative fill, creating a bit of copy space. Why would you want that? Well, you, or maybe someone that you're doing the image for, needs to lay text in with the image. So we need to rearrange this so we've got a more of a text-friendly image. So let me just move a bit of this out of the way. We're going to add a napkin just to add a little more texture, a little more color into it. And we're going to bring our food in down on the corner here, like so. Bring this one over. And I've got all this area right here as a negative fill. I can lay text in there. I can bring this along various different ways and setting it up. I can bring the cinnamon up onto the corner just to help bring that in and tie that in. But it's about creating this space. I can come up along the side here like this, bring the cinnamon up into the corner, and I can do it that way, and I still have the creative space. So you're almost making like a frame, or you're doing a very tight corner composition on that bottom. I can even eliminate that one out. Bring in a little brown sugar like so. Just add a little bit, and that just shows you here I still have that negative. And what's nice is on here, because I'm kind of live viewing it, I can just slide this around to create the perfect composition. Once I get it the way I want, boom, take the photo, and that's it. That's all there is to using the mobile Lightroom app, your cell phone, window light, or in my case a studio light, to do a very simplistic top-down photo. All right, let's get back into the studio. Well, that was a tasty shoot, and I have to say that cake tasted so good. I really enjoyed eating it. Now, again, the iPhone just amazes me at the quality of the photo that come out of it. Now, having it on the tripod, giving me that hands-free option, was awesome. Now, I can remote release it as well when the camera's like that, because I have the Apple Watch, and I can use it to release the shutter. If you're worried about camera shake, you can use a self-timer. There's different ways and options around it. I do like using the Lightroom app though. It gives you that little extra control of your image to tweak it just the way you want. But that's it for that tasty episode. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. Hit that bell notification so you're aware when I post new videos like this. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. So, until the next time. I think I'm going to go have a cup of tea and another slice of that cake.